Hello everyone, so we're back here with Code with Marwan. I'm going to be talking about z-index today. It's going to help you to understand how it really works, because a lot of people might struggle to understand the way that it works behind the scenes, and this is going to help you to avoid doing z-index 9999 again. So let's get started. So now we have three containers: container of squares, container of circles, container of rectangles, and container of text. So now we're going to try to play around with z-index and see how it actually works. So first of all, let's go back here and set the container of the shapes to be absolute in order to be able to access the z-index or to activate it. So that's one thing as well. Z-index is not going to work unless a position is set, whether it's relative or absolute and so on, it doesn't matter. So here we're going to copy the same thing. We're going to do this for rectangle, and we should be expecting the shapes to be on top of each other, and they are. The text as well is already, I'm going to put it to absolute as well. Perfect. So now we can see here the text is on top of the rectangle. So why is that? Because this is the last defined element. If we hide this, or let's say we hide the rectangle, it's going to be on top of the circle and then the square. So it goes in like in order. Whoever was declared last has the higher z-index. That's one thing. Second thing, let's say we want to put the circle on top of the square. So what some people would do, let's say we go here to the circle and square. Let's give the square z-index of 2, for example. Okay, and then he's like, okay, I want to put the circle on top of the square, so let me give this a z-index of 3. But if you go back here, it's not. You refresh, it's not on top of it. So let's try again. Let's maybe give it 19999. So logically, you can see that this number is definitely higher than this number, but it's not working. Why? So we'll see why. So as you can see here, we set that the z-index is by default set by the order. But in order to have the circle on top of the square, you see here the circle is inside an element, which is a circle container. So for the circle to be on top of the square, that means that the circle container has to be on top of the square container. Because the way that the index work, it doesn't, let's say if we put here, as we've previously done, just 99999. Okay, so let me make it more clear. Let's say, okay, I think we can go back here. So this 9999 is within the context of the circle container. So that means, let's say if the circle container has an index of 1 and the circle has index of 9999, that means circle is on level 1, and within level 1 it's on level 99999, which, let's say if we go here to the square, we set a z-index of 2 to the container. So if you compare this, if the square has a z-index of 1, so that means the square is on level 2 1. 2 is the level of its container, the parent, and 1 is the level of the element itself. So this 2 1 is always going to be bigger than 19999 because the parent level is higher, and this is how it works. So let's implement this. So we wanted to have the circles on top of the square. So let's put this to z-index of 1, the parent, so that means it's 1 1 now. And let's put this to 2, so that means it's 299 now. So here we can see it works. and we can also see the rectangles are appearing as well. Let's set a z-index for the rectangles to be 2 and make the circles on top here, so it's 3. Yeah, so that means the circle has an index of 3, and within the index of 3, the z-index of 3, it has a z-index of 9999. All right, let's say we want to bring the square on top. So the way to do it is to update the z-index of the container. Let's say we put it to 4. So here we can see this is gonna move back to being 4 1 instead of 1 1. So it's always gonna be bigger than this number. Let's say we want to bring up the text to be on top of all shapes, so we just give it a higher z-index. Let's say we just change the color to black or something, so this is more clear. Yeah, so see here, this is always going to take the highest position because the container has the index of 5. And let me take a quick look at this as here. As you can see here, this text container, rectangle container, circle container, square container are all lying within the container, like the big one that contains everything. Yeah, so the moral of this video is that to ensure that you're handling the parent level z-index appropriately, because if you only work with the element itself and you don't pay attention to the parent, you're gonna run into very strange issues that are gonna consume a lot of your time. Yeah, so that was it. It's a very small, simple video, but might be helpful to some people, especially those who are new to CSS. I hope this was helpful to you, and see you next Saturday. Have a good day. Bye bye.